savings and retirement. That's 833-928-GOLD.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Whew. It is a chilly night tonight. It is Monday, December 6th, and I hope that you are happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are today. And I was listening to Joan's show. A lot we want to talk about, and I want to continue this conversation. You heard Joan talk to Representative John Carroll about when folks are changing their insurance in the years to come. If they're not going to get vaccinated and they do contract COVID, they are responsible for more of their costs. So give us a call and let us know what you think about that. I know, hey, I think a lot of us have talked about this. If you choose to not get vaccinated, then you choose to also assume those costs. And, you know, the burden of premiums going up for everybody else needs to be alleviated. I think that Delta Airlines and other employers who have used incentives such as, you know, extra costs per month, if you do not get vaccinated, you are charged a certain amount of money. So what are your thoughts on that? Give us a call, 773-763-WCPT. That's 773-763-9278 to join our conversation, your conversation about anything that is on your mind. And of course, we welcome you to our drive time. It's Driving It Home. And I want to remind you that we have our live stream available on Facebook, WCPT 820's Facebook page. Like our page so you can stay up to date on all of the great conversations, the events, and sometimes a giveaway. And we also have a YouTube channel, so subscribe to our YouTube channel, whichever platform is easiest for you. You know, coming up at 5:30, the sun, as it gets darker, actually right now, we might not even be heard that well throughout the area because of our signal. So it's time to switch over to the digital platforms. You can find us on all your, like, TuneIn, and of course you can just listen. If you can't watch YouTube, you can always listen to us in the background on your phone or on Facebook. And we also, we want to remind you to follow Heartland Signal, our news crew, Heartland Signal on Twitter. All the great news stories of the week, of the day, of the moment, available on Twitter with Heartland Signal. And I want to say hi to our friends who are joining us on Facebook. Hi, Christy and Bridget. And hey, those of you in the Chicagoland area, I will be at Zany's Comedy Club on Wells in Old Town, over by Wells and North Avenue. It's a great neighborhood, great area to go grab something to eat, do a little bit of shopping, and go see a comedy show tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You can go to zanys.com for ticket information. Lady B, I forgot to tell Lady B I'm going to give away at least one pair of tickets. So we'll do that in just a little bit. If you are able to come to the show tomorrow night, would love to see you, because I am also doing a giveaway at the show. I've got some T-shirts. I have a shirt that says, "My face isn't about you." My face is not about you. It's a material where I talk about being told to smile, or you look prettier when you smile. And I've never understood why anyone thinks that my face has anything to do with them, and being told to look prettier is somehow their prerogative. It's not. It really is not. So that's one of the shirts. I also have a Save the Boobies shirt. I found a stash of some of my older shirts talking about breast cancer awareness. So I have some Save the Boobies shirts. So come on out to Zany's tomorrow night. I'll be giving those away at the show, and it's a great show. We got Mike O'Keefe on that show, and Dan Rybowski will be on that. Oh, Dan Rybski. Sorry, Dan. Dan Rybski is on the show with me tomorrow night, and I'm excited about that. And tonight, I am going to Maggie O'Keefe. Maggie O'Keefe's fundraiser, committee woman for the 40th Ward. You heard her here on Friday night, and she has a fundraiser coming up tonight. So many things going on. On top of all the news, the DOJ announced that they are going to be taking a case against Texas and violating voter rights. And we also, there's just so much going on in the news. So tell me, what is on your mind? Glenn joins us. Hey, Glenn, what's going on in your world?
Hi, Patty. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, my union, my local, which is a proud sponsor of your station, we're having a contest with, I think the grand prize is like a Harley or something like that. I'm of course not eligible, but it's all to try and get people vaccinated.
What are union members, like some of the folks that you talk to, what is their reaction? Do you kind of have a blend, or is everyone pretty pro-vaccine, staying safe, protecting others?
It's mixed. It's mixed. Sadly, it's mixed because I don't know. There's a lot of construction types that are just not. Either they're not well informed, or they are. They believe some of the baloney that they hear out there. That's my take on it. I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? Because especially like the kind of work that you might do, are you in spaces where it is,
no.
It's hard to socially distance?
No, you're right up. You can't help it in construction. Sometimes you're right up next to a guy, So, and I try. I try all different angles. Like the people that develop these vaccines, they're very smart people. I don't know. I don't know where else to go with it. You know what I mean?
I realized over the weekend I got into an argument on a back and forth, but yes, it was a back and forth. But I realized the thing that I operate on is the reasoning of if this happens, then this is true. If this, then that. Right. So if we know that vaccines have worked, then this is safe. If we've trusted that, why can't we trust this? I realized I think that's what we now are coming down to. It's those two groups, right? The ones of logic and reasoning, if this, then that is true. And the other one's like, I don't think so. I don't believe it. I don't feel that way. It doesn't sound right to me. So.
Yes. Yes. Well, what can you say? There are people that no matter what angle you use, it's tough to get through to them. But, in the eyes of our president of my local, I mean, we're a relatively small local, and we are self-insured. And one hospital stay due to COVID will cost the plan, I don't know, if you're in there for a week, upwards of maybe $100,000 roughly. I mean,
easily.
Hospital stays are not cheap.
Mm-mm.
So, so there's more than just the whole thing about, you have to be vaccinated. There's that part of it. There's the cost. You know what I mean? And everything nowadays is about money, unfortunately.
And I often fall into that trap of thinking that we can reason. If this doesn't work, right? If logic and reasoning, facts don't work, okay, then how about, because conservatives always say it's about fiscal responsibility. Okay, to your point, if we make this investment in our health, then we save this money. That's how I talk about social services. If we invest in people, whether it's senior citizens or people who have physical challenges, we save money in the long run of not having to put people in homes or expend more money for their care. Again, Glenn, you can't. I don't know how we get people to use logic and reasoning to help them.
I know. Sadly,
we can't make them.
Patty,
Yes.
Off topic, real quick. Are you a lifelong Chicagoan, or been here a long time?
My entire life. When I was born, my parents lived at Grace and Ashland. When I was about a year, they moved to Montrose and Elston, and then to Norwood Park. And I've lived just a mile south of where I grew up in Jefferson Park now.
Oh my God!
Yep.
I would say so. I don't know if you recall when I heard your opener when the show started. It just reminded me of the old Johnny B show. Some of the wacky weenies you used.
Well, you know what? I would say that also, obviously I don't do like a wacky show with a lot of sound effects. But,
I understand.
But it was never my strength. Johnny B, such a great performer, and I was in high school, and I remember, I used to say, honest to God, Glenn, and I'm going to say this on CPT, I hope everyone's okay with it, but I said, bite me a lot in high school.
Oh, well.
I think he said something else, but I'm not going to say that. I didn't think it was appropriate, but I would say, remember it was the other thing. And because I went to Lane Tech, and if you're familiar, we had wood shop. I could not obviously be a carpenter or do any of that stuff, but a friend of mine in high school, a kid named Mike, made a phallic symbol for me, because I used to say that. That's how much I used to say that. I was like, I did not keep that, nor it was appalling. I just kind of okay. It was because it's like girls couldn't quite have the same sort of humor. I always leaned into the sort of loud and, trying to, because when you're trying to occupy spaces that men are louder in, sometimes you copy. And I've tried to find my own space. Oh, well. Yeah, that's all right.
There you go.
Yeah, Glenn, what a great, thank you for bringing Johnny. But who else did you like listening to? Because I'm old enough to remember Larry Lujak. My parents loved Roy Leonard and of course, all the greats at that former radio station.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Happy holidays.
All right.
Take care.
Likewise.
Thank you. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to Zany's Comedy Club. I'll be performing. Oh, Lady B, am I good for doing it now? No, I don't see Lady B. So she's got some things to take care of. There's some tech things we have to make sure that the quality of the show is up and running. So give us a call. The giveaways for me, they're my giveaway. So I think that I can do that. I don't know. I don't know. Devin, if Devin or Antonio are listening, let me know if I can give away a pair of tickets to my show. Give us a call to join our conversation, 773-763-WCPT. We'll be right back after this on Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Just like stress, anxiety isn't always a bad thing. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent. For years, I've talked about how acute stress can be a good thing. It might give you that extra push you need to pour more energy into a problem with your kids. Maybe take a big risk at work. Go a little harder, a little further with your exercise for the day. Anxiety also evoked to protect humans from environmental threats. That's according to Wendy Suzuki, an NYU professor and author of the new book, Good Anxiety, Harnessing the Power of the Most Misunderstood Emotion. There's a push these days toward teaching people how to be happy, she says. It's an attractive idea, but the truth is we are complicated organisms with an array of emotions that are there for a reason, to offer insight into what you value and what is happening in your world. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Doesn't your family deserve the best? Eggland's Best Eggs. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Give you and your family more. More delicious, farm-fresh taste. Plus, superior nutrition. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get $1 delivery when you order on our app. Panera. Live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
We know you're not quick with opinions beyond your tight circle of friends, but that's why people listen whenever you choose to weigh in. You've been a clear voice of reason, careful when choosing words. Now that it's down to what's right and what's wrong, it's time for that voice to be heard.
That's some lovely music from Chris Jones. You can go to chrisjonesgrass.com. And one of our friends on Facebook says they love our opening song, which of course is by Steve Goodie. You can go to stevegoodie.com, and it's Goodie. And he also has he and Bradley Tassel have a great Christmas album, Christmas and Hanukkah album available right now on their website. And we've got the call, the line. The calls are coming in. I am going to give away a pair of tickets to Zany's. I'll be at Zany's on Wells this tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, December 7th. The doors open at 7. The show is at 8 p.m. And I am doing giveaways for other people who come in. If you come in tomorrow night and tell me you heard about my show on WCPT, I will give you your choice of shirts or magnets. I have some magnets that say "Keep it in your head." It's a magnet and a button that Griffin designed when he was 7 years old. He's now 18, and I just found a whole stash of my old merch, so I'm going to give away some of that stuff. "Keep it in your head" is about the material is about how people always come up to me with Declan, who is my incredible younger son, who is nonverbal, and people are like, doesn't he talk? Shouldn't he be saying something? And the different comments, rude things that people say to us and throughout Declan's life. And Griffin, when he was 7, said, I wish people would just keep it in their head. And he sat down with a pen and paper and with different colors and developed a logo that says, keep it in your head. And it's really cute. So if you do come to the show, if you don't win tickets right now, 773-763-WCPT will take caller number 2 for a pair of tickets. Caller number 2 for 2 tickets to Zanies. And if you aren't a winner, come to the show tomorrow and you win anyway. So I would love to see you at the show tomorrow night. We have on the line with us Roosevelt calling from Chicago. Hi, Roosevelt. How was your weekend?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
Oh, it was good. I had great shows. I didn't tell folks, and I should. I know I'm terrible at promoting. I was actually at the Zanies in Rosemont working on my material for tomorrow night. So sometimes I like to hide and do lower, But so the audience is wonderful. What were you up to?
What am I doing, you mean?
What were you, this weekend? What was your weekend like? Was it good?
No, it was quiet.
Quiet.
That's the way I like it, quiet. Because I watch a lot of football. I like sports.
And how'd that go for you?
I like the Bears, the way they played. They were outmatched because those teams that they're playing against lately are playoff teams. So, you got to have an offensive line to protect your quarterback. Otherwise, the quarterback doesn't have time to throw the ball. It's all about the ball.
Having watched the movie Friday Night Lights over the weekend, the film, have you seen that movie?
Which one?
Friday Night Lights. I know it's an older one, but
Oh, yeah.
It's a good movie. I prefer the series. There's nobody that compares to Coach Taylor, but it was a fun movie to watch. So I feel like you and I are bonding on the football stuff. Yes, the quarterback needs some time to throw the ball.
You know what? And you know what? That's the only thing I disagree with Joan about, because she puts down I got to tell her about that now that we're talking sports, because I totally disagree with her. She puts down the Bears like these guys are very full of like stars, superstars, and they're not. So you can't expect these guys to play at the level of Tampa Bay or Green Bay, for that matter, because they don't have the players.
Well, I would say that don't you think it's okay for people to be disappointed by their home team? I mean, watching. Hey,
I am not. I'm not, and I'll tell you why. You got a rookie quarterback that possibly, if he stays healthy and he doesn't get hurt, which he's out because he is hurt, come to think of it. But that could be your future. All you got to do is build around him, and like I said before, you got to get a offensive line to protect them. Well,
Roosevelt, let me just say, look. I would say, look, yes, it might be frustrating to hear people, bash on the Bears and be frustrated. I did every time I see a biopic or a movie that's based on true stories. So Friday Night Lights, you remember the player Booby who has a knee injury and keeps trying to come back? Well, he had like the highest yards in the state of Texas when he was in high school. And after he was injured, like people in the town were like, he should be shot. He's worthless. So, there's a little bit of a scale. Joan might say, negative things, but at least here we just rail against our team, and we have folks like you to defend them. So I think it's a little bit back and forth. How's that work?
Fantastic. And this is the one thing I disagree with a lot of people, and they, I don't care if they have 100 million. I don't care if they get 100 million per year. You're given. I know it's willingly, and I know you put yourself in a situation. But a lot of those football players don't, their lifespan is not that, they're not, in their 60s or 70s,
Right.
Other than Joe Namath, the one I could think of, but these guys, I mean, especially when it comes down to head injuries. So, let me get off the subject. Are you familiar with sorryantivaxxers.com?
No, I should find that.
Look, pull it up, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I want to continue the talk that Joan had, and this is exactly the way I thought. Why should we pay for your lack of responsibility? The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the people that voted for Trump are the same people that are refusing to get the vaccine. So when it comes down, when they do get it, that's precisely what that sorryantivaxxer.com that I gave you. It's people that didn't believe in the vaccine, that didn't believe in masks, that are Trump supporters, and then they go ahead of the line. I heard that ahead of the line when it comes down to my people, when they come here without papers, or the Central American people. Don't these people understand about, responsibility, about pulling yourself by the bootstraps? And that's exactly, I don't know how you feel about it because you're such a kind person. But when it comes down to them getting ahead of the line,
I got my limits. Hey, Roosevelt, I'll tell you, I got my limits. Go ahead.
I totally disagree. I mean, how can a person that really has believes in vaccine that's in the hospital, and you're going to go ahead of him, or he has a respiratory illness not related to COVID, and you're going to get the ventilator, and you're the person that refused to get vaccine, and you're the person that refused to put on a mask? Why should they go ahead of the line?
Right.
That's precisely my point.
And you challenge healthcare professionals who have taken an oath to help people, so they do everything they possibly can. And how frustrating, how demoralizing to treat people who had the ability to prevent this, and then they can't help people who come in a car accident or other life-threatening situations.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You're hitting my point.
Yep.
And do you remember? We have a short span of remembering what happened. Do you remember how Trump had these nurses and doctors in garbage bags? Remember black garbage bags they were wearing? Remember that they had to wear the mask and wash them, and then all this stuff. They were infected. They were they came down with COVID because of the fact that they were directly in front of the line of this pandemic. But now I want to say another thing about what Hartman said. He said that 1/6 of people that voted for Trump, the people that didn't vote for Trump are the ones that are not getting infected. The ones that are getting infected are the ones that voted for Trump, that refused the vaccine, refused the mask, and all that, on and on and on and on. So these people that are getting these variants are exactly what I just said before. Lack of responsibility. Pull yourself from the bootstraps. Get in back of the line. Let the people that have had accidents, that have respiratory conditions, let them go ahead of the line. That's the way I feel. I don't know.
I hear you. I think a lot of people feel like you, including me. But it sounds cruel. And to your point about kindness, like I said, it has limits. It doesn't mean without. Yep.
I thought you were going to say the opposite, but it's time to, you know what it is, Patty? It's time to stop playing nice with these people. It's time to put the mirror in front of their face and say, you guys are the ones that are talking about a responsibility. Well, here's one big one. You weren't responsible enough to not get the COVID, and you're putting in danger my health or other people's health if you come in contact.
That's what I was going to say. When you say that I'm kind, I am, unless you are doing something that is kind and unkind and cruel to others. And then, it's going to seem like it's unkind. It is a reaction to cruelty. I have zero tolerance for cruelty.
Yeah.
Zero.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I'll give somebody else a chance, and thank you for letting me.
Hey, good to hear from you, Roosevelt. Take a breath now.
Thank you.
Of course.
Sorry, antivaxxer.com.
I'm on it right now. I'm scrolling through right now, so folks can go to sorryantivaxxer.com is Roosevelt's recommendation. Have a great day, Roosevelt. Let's go to Jay, who's been on hold for a little bit. Hi, Jay, what's on your mind?
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
My caller number 2.
Oh, do you want a pair of tickets? You want to come to Zany's tomorrow night?
Yes.
All right. After we're done talking, I will give Lady B will take your information, and I'll have the tickets for you at the door. Okay.
Excellent.
Wonderful. What was on your? Yes.
Well, just to piggyback off what the gentleman was saying, and he's absolutely right with the Bears. I used to be a Bear bandwagon jumper, but in this case, I'm with the Bears, even though they're losing. This is the 1 year I'm standing behind the Bears because they finally look like they're doing something right, and they have the right people behind.
Yeah, they're not going to be champions.
The coach.
Look, I am one of those Chicagoans who still, revels in the glory of 1985. But that was a flash in the bottle, don't you think? It was lightning in a bottle, not a flash. I mean, lightning has flash, but that makes sense.
I don't think those days will ever come back.
No.
There won't be another refrigerator Perry. I didn't even mention Walter Payton.
No.
I didn't even mention Walter. There will never be another refrigerator Perry.
They were all great characters. It was so much great energy. It was fun.
Absolutely.
It was, you know what, there was
Doug Plank.
Yeah, all of it. I mean, I remember all those players. I knew nothing about football until that year, and it was fun to watch. I've got to run. Do you want to hang on and continue the conversation, or do you just want to? You want to? All right, let me.
Absolutely. I'll hang on.
Let me put you on hold, and 'cause I know you want to. Did you want to talk about the insurrection, about January 6th?
Absolutely, yes.
All right,
absolutely,
stand by.
well.
And Lady B will get your name for the tickets to Zanies. Stand by. And we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we continue our conversation, and we'll have another pair of tickets to give away for Zanies. I'll be at Zanies on Wells. Doors open at 7, and the show is at 8 tomorrow night, December 7th. Everyone can go to zanies.com for more information. And when you come to the show and tell me that you heard it on WCPT, I've got a gift for you. More after this.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive on WCPT Willow Springs is powered by ComEd. Lower your energy bills and reduce your carbon footprint with the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago traffic update.
Traveling southbound on the Tri-State. Solid from Lawrence all the way down to the 290, with a multi-vehicle crash blocking 2 right lanes. The eastbound I-90 is solid from the Tri-State into the Kennedy. Now the Eden's End from Lake Cook Road 31 breaking at Willow outbound is clear. Kennedy out to the split 21-17 in the Express, 41 out to the airport. Inbound solid from the 190 most of the way down to the Burn. O'Haring to downtown 47-15 of that in from the junction. Eisenhower outbound. There's a crash out Central off onto the right shoulder. From the Circle out to 390 hour 6. Stevenson outbound. At Clarendon Hills Road, a fender bender off onto the shoulder. To Samba Lakeshore Drive and out to 355-46. Inbounds over an hour. Solid cast to LaGrange Road with a crash. That's traffic. I'm Mary DeBadges.
Wendy's knows a better breakfast starts with a better biscuit. That's why you can get a hot and buttery Wendy's breakfast biscuit with bacon or sausage, fresh cracked egg, and cheese for just $1. Get your Wendy's Buck Biscuit sandwich today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy while helping you lower your carbon footprint. With discounts on Energy Star certified LED bulbs, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Learn more at ComEd.com/lighting. ComEd, powering lives.
Hey, yeah, how's it going?
Word of mouth has Dante's dental clinic thriving.
17 new patients? Nice. Is this next month's calendar?
But he needs another dentist to give his schedule a good cleaning.
This is this week? You're kidding. Oh, you're not.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
January 6th, 2021, followers of Trump and something called QAnon attempted a coup at the United States Capitol. Who are these people? I want to live with the QAnon girl. I could be happy the rest of my life with a QAnon girl. Believer of theory, she leans to the right. She never gets weary of being gullible and white. She's my QAnon girl.
That's Steve Goody with QAnon Girl.
These folks seem willing.
That's Steve Goody with QAnon Girl, and available at stevegoody.com, Goodie. Lamont says that Mary DeVagis, the traffic woman, sounds a little bit like Eartha Kitt. I think that now I'm going to be able to hear it that way. I like that. She does sound like Eartha Kitt. And Bridget, I'm with you. We were talking before the break about the Bears, and I was reflecting on my memories of the 1985 Bears. When I went off to the University of Illinois in 89, I was in the dorms, and this sophomore came up to me. His name was Ron Fernandez, and he goes, "Did you go to Lane Tech?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh my God, every single morning." He goes, "You're out in the hallway singing, 'We're not here to start any trouble.'" I should not sing, I apologize. But he said he remembered me from 4 years earlier singing every single day, because at Lane they would blast Super Bowl Shuffle in the hallways every single morning, and leading up to the Super Bowl, and I loved it. Such a great memory of that. Jim has been on hold for a little bit. Hi, Jim. How are you doing today?
Hi, Terry. One of the creepiest stories, I think, of the year is this Epstein story with his girlfriend and the 8 billionaires in the plane with a 14-year-old girl. All I could think of is my father used to say, "Birds of a feather flock together." And the rest of his, "If I can't find the one I love, I'll drink this stuff forever." But there's a group of people with a 14-year-old girl, including the Prince of England. I mean, how can they look each other in the eye, grown men? It's hard to believe. It's really hard to believe. With all that dough, they can't pick up a decent girl in a bar in, let's say, in the south of France, and I'd be in Monte Carlo at the bar with a tuxedo on. I'm not going to be looking for a 14-year-old girl on an airplane. I mean, are these people playing with a full deck or what? It's the creepiest story. It's actually the creepiest story I've ever heard in my life. You know, it's just absolutely creepy. And when you think about the little kids that are exploited around the world because they're poor, it's an atrocity. And these asinine creatures are worth billions, including Trump. I think he was on a couple of the rides there. You know, he turned a blind eye to it. Of course, he turned a blind eye to a lot of stuff, the pandemic, and you name it. But, I mean, it's the creepiest story. It's actually the creepiest story that I've heard in, I don't know, in a long, long time. I know. Really creepy story. And that gal is just unbelievable, isn't she?
She's absolutely despicable. I think that
this is... Gills with dough, and that's their entertainment, is to groom little girls. I mean, it's insane. The story is absolutely insane. Anyway, Terry, on that note, I mean, things got to get better. I don't know. Christmas is coming. It doesn't look. It looks like a bleak one, but anyway, you have a great evening. Thanks, Terry.
It's a lot you dropped on my plate there, Jim. It is. I was going to say it's what happens when we treat women, girls as disposable or less than, and that's about all I want to say about that. Dave from Hoffman Estates, what's on your mind, Dave?
Hey, Patty. Yeah, I was listening a little bit on Hartman today, and there was a caller from Phoenix, and they were talking about, like, with all of these anti-vaxxers, you know, that are with the COVID, you know, taking up a lot of the bed space and stuff at the hospitals. And I got to thinking, then why don't they start doing like what old Joe Arpaio did with the prisoners? Put them in tents outside. I mean, the right was okay with that with them, right?
There you go. Hey, I like that.
Hospital's bed space.
Right. It's still treating people, but you know, it's in order. I would think to also just put it as a quarantine. Like, here's the unvaccinated. Here's the quality of care. It would be as much as they possibly could to make sure that they're taking care of them. But you know, you can't. Healthcare providers, again, those in the medical field, nurses and doctors and therapists and everybody take an oath to treat everyone equally, and that's the guiding light for them. But it's a burden on the healthcare system, and this is something that we're always reminded of by the fiscal conservatives, that we have to be responsible with our money. It is irresponsible with your money to not get vaccinated, to continue to be a burden on the healthcare system. I don't know why it's a if this then that situation. Again, I'm telling you.
Right. And if, like with the car, auto, you got to have the insurance. And what if you're not belted in or whatever? You got to pay, right?
Right.
In an accident, and why should they not have to pay? Because they've been the same thing. They ain't buckling up, right? They're not taking the shot.
I think
a burden and burning out our nurses and doctors.
I am not a fan of devil's advocate arguments. There were several of them on my Facebook page in regards to abortion and whether or not a fetus is a human, and should we then, insure a fetus? Should we then, a woman be able to get, any of the payments, parental payments? Can, if there's a death, do they get death considerations in their tax? All those things, right? There's so many things involved in whether or not a fetus is a person. And then, of course, you have all these people who have the devil's advocate, the philosophical parts of it. But for people who will give you the counter argument, they will say, well, then that would also mean that if someone's an overeater, we don't treat diabetes. If someone's or obesity, or if somebody is a smoker, we don't treat them for cancer, or we treat them less than. So because those are also, they are considered to be choices, although, anyway, that's the path I think that a lot of people would go down in arguing against it, don't you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I had seen a story, I don't have it, I seen it the other week about the VA. They had a deadline. They were supposed to all be vaccinated. There's a good portion of them that still don't have any vaccination.
Yeah.
And even like the Marines, I believe there's like a good 5% of them still have refused it. And otherwise, if they didn't take it, they're supposed to be getting drummed out. They got no excuses or whatever. They're supposed to be getting drummed out.
Yeah.
I haven't heard no more on that. I mean, that's kind of like a line in the sand that the president and they all that put out there. So, they're going to have to, get off the pot or something. So
we'll see.
Anyway, let me get off. I'm sure you got others. Be well, Pat.
You too. Have a good evening. Take care.
All right.
Thank you. Let's go back to Jay, who wanted to talk about the insurrection. Hi, Jay.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Jay.
Hi.
Hi.
Lady V, I'm sorry.
It's Patty. Are you driving with the window down? What's you up to, Jay?
No, actually, I was at work. I'm in the factory.
Oh, okay.
I was putting on hold, but I wanted to talk about the insurrection real briefly, if I could.
Sure.
My problem with the insurrection and how they're mandating the people that they're actually prosecuting.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anybody getting prosecuted for a felony other than the initial guy that I think he was with, I forgot what organization he was with the shirt off, and he had the hat on with the horn.
Oh yeah, the shaman or whatever. Yeah,
shaman, right? But everyone else is getting things like you break into a federal building and they're getting misdemeanors.
Yep, they're getting probation or yeah.
Macy's, people that are breaking into Macy's with the Black Lives Matter, they're getting burglaries, and they're not getting charged with misdemeanors.
Right.
They're trying to charge these people to the full extent, and I would think of federal property would be more horrendous than a Macy's.
Right. Hey, it goes right back, as I started the show. If this, then that. If this is a federal charge, if it carries this sentencing, then they should be prosecuted and sentenced accordingly.
That's what you would think.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's to stop them from doing it again then?
It was as
if I'm not going to be federally charged, then I'm going to push the envelope a little bit further next time.
Right. There's no consequences.
I don't know if that entails pushing it further.
Mm-hmm.
But, starting a fire in the campfire in the federal building, I don't know.
Don't do it. Because the rules don't apply to them. It's different rules if they were trying to overthrow the government. God forbid, we should hold them accountable for that. Consequences.
There's a lot of rules that need to be changed now. I learned a lot since Trump. I mean, I didn't learn a lot since Obama because his hands were tied with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to hold him accountable as well as a politician. Things that they tied his hands with, he shouldn't let the public know. Like, I'm trying to do this, these people are tying my hands together.
Yep.
But he was being a politician most of the time. I hate to say it.
I think so too.
But with Trump, I learned the limitations of the Constitution, how far they actually enforce the Constitution. They really don't.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, is if you have a sense of justice, the last 4 years under Trump were just unbearable. Thanks so much for calling, Jay. I'll see you tomorrow night, okay? I'll get you a shirt. What size do you wear?
Okay.
What size shirt do you want? So I save it for you.
I'm a big fella.
Double X?
Yep.
All right. I'll save a double X for you. All right?
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks, Jay. And Brian in Joliet is on the line. Let me get that one. Hey, Brian. Brian? Mm-hmm. Brian? Oh, no. I can't hear Brian. Let me go to Heather real quick. Brian, I'm going to come back to you. Let me see. Maybe it's me and not you. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Hey, Heather from Michigan. Oh,
how are you?
I'm good. I see what you want to talk about. Yes, let's talk about this. Because now, how far away are you from Detroit in this area of Oxford, Michigan, where the shooting happened?
I'm probably about 3 hours away from Detroit.
So, and of course, the dorky thing we do with the mitten, like, I'm kidding. I won't go into that with you.
Oh, yeah, we won't do that. But I did learn this.
Mm-hmm.
They were a lot closer to Canada than I first thought.
I heard that as well.
However, they wouldn't have been able to get in.
Good.
Because they might not have a passport, and they'd have to be vaccinated.
Right.
And so that's a good thing. And then, to make matters kind of screwy, I believe they dropped their vehicle off somewhere, and then they went to some building where they knew somebody who was an artist. He let them in. He did not know. I mean, he was friends with them. He was friendly with them, but he did not know that they were wanted.
Ugh.
And I kind of feel bad.
Sure.
I feel bad for him because that's not right.
Mm-mm.
You know, and he's going to work with prosecutors, so I'm glad in that aspect. But I think part of the reason he's going to do that is because he's only been in our country for 27 years. But he knows that he knows enough to deal with the legal system and be kind to those if you are asked questions, and if you don't know something, you know, it's okay to not know and say, hey, I didn't know this.
Right.
And I just, you know, my heart goes out to him, but, and the city of Oxford. But, that was just, it's terrible.
It's heartbreaking.
Oh, God.
Look, I have a senior in high school right now who has been, since the age of 7, taught what to do in the event of a live shooter drill. And I think about this, when we had fire drills and tornado drills, and even when I was a kid, we were still having atomic bomb drills where we would, get under our desks, I guess was supposed to be the saving factor in our classrooms. There was something different about that in the sense that it was, whether natural, of course, a bomb, it just, that seemed detached, like someone somewhere over there wants to kill us, and that's why we have to hide under this desk. And a natural disaster or a fire, it's scary to learn about those things, but to know that someone wants to come into your school and kill you is a horrible way to start to grow up. It's on the layer on top of everything else. It's always something out there that wants to kill you, but maybe someone in your own community, in your own school, one of your classmates wants to kill you. I can't imagine growing up like that. I really can't. Heather, I have to run for the break. It's so good to hear from you, and thank you for always joining us on Facebook. Tell folks it's a good place to watch the show.
Okay, I will.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Have a great evening, Heather. I'm going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to find out about a new event happening in Lincoln Square. What's Good is bringing some farm fresh and local food year-round to a new retail store in Lincoln Park, and we want to find out more about that from our friend Matt Tortura. More in a moment on WCPT 820. We're driving it home, and I'm your host, Patti Vasquez.
Late at night, when you drive up to your home, what's the first thing you see? The gentle glow of lights welcoming you home? Maybe it's the path of light from landscaping, or the cozy light from your living room. This is Mike Clemens, business manager of IBEW Local 176. We're the folks who light your home and keep it lit year-round. We make sure your home is wired safely and correctly the first time. When you hire an IBEW Local 176 union electrician, you hire the best. We spend years training in the classroom and on the job. And union electricians set the standards that are followed throughout the country. But we're much more than highly skilled electricians. We're your neighbors. We attend the same Little League games and dance recitals. And most importantly, we want to keep your family as safe as we keep our own. So when you need an electrician to wire a smart home, your electric vehicle charging station, or even the smallest of electrical repairs, call us at 815-729-1240 or find a union contractor closest to you at qualifiedelectricians.com.
If you're looking to refinance your existing home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Billy, married, 2 kids, living in an $800,000 home, called to do a cash-out refinance to pay off credit card debt he accumulated after losing his job. Team Hochberg helped Billy eliminate over 50 G's of credit card debt and reduced his payments over $2,000 a month. Let's review. Before calling Team Hochberg, Billy was loaded with debt and struggled to make his monthly payments on time. After calling, Billy paid off all his credit cards, reduced his monthly payments over 2 G's a month, and eliminated an incredible amount of stress in his life. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of radio listeners pay off debt and substantially reduce their monthly payments, like we helped Billy, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. That number again is 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 112461.
Make our way down this open road. All regrets are left back in the dust. I'm okay to take the wheel while you draw so near. A time to rediscover and to trust. We needed this ride, waited for so long.
A little more Chris Jones. Go to chrisjonesgrass.com for information about all the great music that he has during the pandemic. And for the last 3 years, I have been a volunteer at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market. And, you know, we have been doing it at the Jefferson Park, actual park, a physical park over on Long, right near Higgins and all the streets across, like, but not far from Milwaukee and Higgins. And it was great to, you know, be with neighbors and enjoy fresh fruits and vegetables and meats from around the Illinois area. And during the pandemic, we had to switch, and our fearless leader Merrill was able to work with a couple neighborhood groups. And what really saved us was the What's Good app. And with us is one of the co-founders to tell us about something new and exciting in the Chicagoland area. Matt Tortura joins us. Hey, Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm a huge fan. As you can tell, I'm a huge fan of farmers markets, and thank you. I can't thank you enough for you helped so many people during the pandemic, not just the folks who were eager to buy locally grown goods and meats and things like that, but also, you know, supporting those growers, those providers, those business owners. So thank you to you and your entire crew.
Oh my goodness, amazing! You made my day. Thank you, and you know it's been a pleasure. It really has. Doing good work with a lot of really amazing people and folks and partners, and you know a lot of volunteers like yourself that are just there, you know, because it matters. And
it really does.
Happy and excited to be a part of it.
Yes, and for folks who don't know, first let's start with What's Good app and how you're kind of a congregate for a lot of the farmers and business owners. How does that work for folks?
Right. So we build e-commerce software that levels the playing field for local farmers and food producers and enables farmers markets around the country to, operate e-commerce online for pre-order and pickup, delivery as well. We operate delivery throughout the New England area and the Chicago area 5-6 days a week. And, you know, in many cases have facilitated farmers markets around the country to, you know, transform through the pandemic into, you know, drive-thrus and all kinds of really interesting contactless pickups. But the farmers market itself is really something that, you know, just transforms virtually on What's Good into, you know, a very simple user experience. You can use the native mobile app, go to the App Store and search What's Good, or go to sourcewhatsgood.com, and the technology will align you with what's closest to you and kind of automatically filter that for you.
It was a lifesaver. I'm just thinking, look, we had some really hot days in that summer of 2020, and we had these cars just lined up at six corners, and everyone was so happy to be there, and you helped make that happen. So tell us what's going on in Lincoln Park that folks should know about.
Yeah, so, this is a new concept for us called Farm Shop. It's our retail front to our, fulfillment operations that we've continued to operate since, through the summer of 2020 and beyond. We came in last winter to Chicago to operate home delivery here, mainly because, as you know, the pandemic was harsh on farmers markets. They were deemed non-essential. In my opinion, wrongfully so, but they were deemed non-essential, and we came in to do deliveries so that farmers and farmers markets could stay in business through the year. And so the Farm Shop concept was really that our operations were typically in a flexed warehouse space, empty in the morning and empty in the afternoon, and we'd fill up with food in between and then do deliveries. We basically just added a retail component so that people could actually just come in and buy those products from local producers all year, every day, 8 hours a day, and just give more of an opportunity, especially now, again, in the winter, farmers market season just ends. And the reality is that farmers and food producers don't. They can produce through the winter, believe it or not, even in this, climate. And, it's really an important thing to be able to drive business to them all year.
Absolutely. And so how do folks, first of all, it's like any other app. You download it. It gives you, you enter the information, is it your zip code? I'm trying to remember because I've been doing them in person again. Folks put in their local area whether it's markets that are popping up, but how do they find out more about the Lincoln Square store? Yeah, so the technology itself, when you go into, or you go to the website, or you download the app, it's going to open up based on your current location, and you then create an account which you add in your location, right, your address, so that for delivery purposes we're able to get product to you. We deliver, as far north as Evanston and as far out to Naperville and south, past South Loop. So it's a pretty big area that we do deliveries in. And so, it's a free app. You go to the website, create a free account. You get to shop from all these different local producers. They're, kind of organized by farmers market. So you'll see, South Loop if you're closest to South Loop first. But you'll see all the different farmers markets there on the first page. And then you select either one that you're familiar with, or you can select the What's Good home delivery market, and you shop from, sometimes in some of the markets there are hundreds of producers. You fill one cart, place one order, and one, order shows up to your door. And I understand that you take SNAP. So, there's so many communities that are food deserts. We talk about that in particular when it comes to fresh food and meats and things like that. And you do take SNAP for different locations? Yeah, so the SNAP and EBT program is very important to us and what our mission is, and being able to enable communities and people who need access to fresh, healthy food with that. And so we actually built a workaround from what the USDA and the regulators have set to where it's not easy to be able to process SNAP and EBT online. It's not as easy as it should be. And we've been actually waiting 6 years to get authorization from the USDA to just process an EBT card, which, we're processing Discover and American Express and Visa and everything else, but not the SNAP. Exactly. So we have to really partner with, the organizations that operate and manage the farmers markets who have on-site processing using the, I'm sure you've seen the equipment, the old school dial-up stuff. And so we are able to facilitate the order. The payment then happens on site when you go to pick up. We actually finally are seeing some movement from the USDA, and hopeful that this year you'll be able to just go like any other customer and add your EBT card to the app and pay for the product. On site here, though, at the Farm Shop, we will be able to, and I think by next month, we'll have the ability to process SNAP and EBT on site in the store. So you'll be able to come by 1712 North Halstead and
walk in and use your SNAP and EBT card.
Outstanding. I want to talk to you about that more in the coming weeks because we are always eager to accommodate folks that need the food. So I can't have time to ask you about the senior vouchers. Next time I have to have a more conversation with Matt Tortura, who's co-founder of the What's Good app. Download it and support local farmers. Eat a fresh apple. What's it like to eat an egg that hasn't gone through the whole process that's nearby? It's life-changing. Thank you so much, Matt, for everything that you've done. I read that right off of your promo. So thank you for writing that in there. It helps. Have a great evening. I'd love to talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you. Yes, would love to.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great evening. Everyone, I've got to run. Don't forget Zanies.com for tickets to my show tomorrow night. That's Zanies.com for December 7th. I got to go. The Devil's Advocate is up next. Sorry, Brian. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I got to run. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Lady B.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock,